It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while.
Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful downtown Healdsburg. Boom. Boom. Okay, and welcome to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine, and tonight is our redo show from last week because something was disconnected in the vocal side of this thing.
All right. So we still get to drink twice, though, right? Same
Yeah,
stuff twice?
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
yeah.
Can you do that more often?
We can. I make mistakes a lot. Anyway, I don't know what happened. Anyway, it just didn't work.
Well, it's going to work tonight.
It is going to work because Karina's got the headset on and she can hear that. She can see the volume going up, right? Yes? Okay. All right.
Confirmation.
So we are
Thumbs up.
looking good. So we're going to taste. Can I have a sheet? We're going to taste 6 wines. We're going to, huh? Yeah, behind the bar or by the bar. Thank you. We're going to taste Orchard Station Russian River Chardonnay.
Okay.
More on the stainless steel, side.
Some real fruit to it. I
yeah.
remember it has real fruit.
It does have real fruit. That's produced by Moondance as a second label, and we'll talk about that. We're going to also talk and taste James Family Cellars 2014 Russian River Chardonnay. That's about 3/4 to the oaky, buttery side, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's kind of
I agree. I agree with that. And the cool thing is it won the double gold, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's a winner.
Yep.
And then Nero Cellars, their Rosé of Grenache.
Who is Nero? We're going to find
Nero's
that out
our
too. Yeah.
newest winery, doing very well. Everybody's digging it. The wines are killer. And then we have Super Sonoman, his Knights Valley Rosé of Cab,
Okay.
and we'll talk about that's an unusual.
So a
rosé.
Cabernet that is done in a rosé style.
Yes,
Cool.
but it has some other things that happened that you don't normally see, and
Excellent.
so I like that. All right, and then 2011 Deering Zinfandel from Sonoma Valley, and we're going to do that next to the 2012 Bonneau wine Dry Creek Valley Zinfandel.
Wonderful.
So you got Dry Creek, Sonoma Valley. So we've got a contrast
Nice.
between these different wines. And then shout out to our wine club members that came in on Saturday. We had our pickup party and bottle labeling. We did some bottle labeling.
That was great. We had some free labor, kind of. Well, not really free, because they ended up doing what?
They got a bottle of wine if they labeled 2 cases. Now they did it relatively quickly, so maybe I need to raise the bar. I brought in 22 more cases of sparkling today, and I need 22 more possibly tomorrow, and that'll bring all of it in. But it's all in shiners, so we got to get them labeled.
Okay.
But everybody had a good time. They really liked doing that. So maybe I'll raise the bar a little bit, and we'll go 3 cases,
Makes
1
sense.
bottle.
Yep.
That's a better.
It's
deal.
real fast. It really
and then
is fast.
we'll knock through that.
Yeah.
So if you wanna come into the tasting room and do some labeling, just let us know. We'll set it all up. It's really easy to do, and you can be
So
paid.
you give guidance so they know what to do and so forth.
Yeah, we let them look at a bottle that's done correctly, and then, it's
Good.
Good. Yeah, if you got the shakes or you have some drinking problem and you don't want to be doing that. That's not going to work. But if you can get it right on there, it's pretty simple. It's an easy label. It's not hard. Yeah, so it's fun. Nero Winery, they saw my email about the labeling thing, and they've got some shiners.
Oh,
So we want to create an event with Nero,
cool.
and we'll label some of their wine, which would be kind of cool. And we'll
That'd be
work out
great.
a similar scenario where you get paid by a bottle of wine when you do, I don't know, 3, 4 cases, something, just something to
Nice,
help out.
nice.
Yeah, it's a wine geeky kind of fun, you know.
Plus, as soon as you finish that, you want to buy some, take it home, and say, "I labeled this."
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I'll sign the bottles too, because I am a winemaker.
You are. You are.
Technically, I mean, yeah.
I think you are.
According
I'm
to the,
convinced you are.
according to the the whole world.
All right.
All right, so let's start with the first Chardonnay. This is Moondance Cellars and their second label. I have not been drinking. This is Orchard Station Winery. Do you know why it's called Orchard Station?
Why is that, Scott?
Well, funny you should ask. They used to have a train that went through their property in the late 1800s. And their barn was called Orchard Station.
Oh,
And it looked like a label like this. There you go. Thank you. And so they make 2 wines under that Orchard Station, the Chardonnay, and then a great Sauvignon Blanc that we have as well.
I had a visitor in the tasting room here the other day who lives on Orchard Station, which is their mailbox is on the Orchard Station Road, and they talked about the history of Orchard Station, and talked about the fact that it was created so that they would be able to move the Gravenstein apples out of the orchard and bring people into the orchard and be able to pick.
So
and
it's
so forth.
a passenger train, but
Yeah,
for
so they
work.
would actually
labor.
they would hang on, but the actual reason that it existed was to move the apples out of the orchard. It was indeed an electric train that was powered by a power station nearby. I thought it might be a power generator, but it's actually an electric train in the 1800s, which means
late
grew-
18, but it had to be late.
yeah,
Had to be late.
1880-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was green before it's cool to be green, and they were doing a good job.
Yeah, because they weren't green at all. You were smoking on the train
Well, yeah,
too.
yeah, of course.
And you probably had chickens and pigs and cows and stuff in there, so
Good point.
it wasn't much green.
It was not vegan at all.
No, there was no vegan. So this is more on the crisp, fresh cut apple. Very clean. A real contrast to the next one, which is James Family Cellars, 2014 Chardonnay, Russian River fruit. You're going to see a little deeper color because it did get a secondary fermentation.
Oh, you're talking about malolactic fermentation.
Malolactic fermentation.
Ah, yeah.
So it is a little deeper in color. It's going to be a little creamier, what I would call creamy, in the finish.
A little more oak too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, you could tell in the nose. Jeez, right out of the gate.
I think you can tell in the color too. Let's take a look. Yeah.
Not as much as you would see in the Bonneau or maybe the
Right. Yeah.
Super Sonoma, especially
Right.
Super Sonoma.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that one's golden. That's the color of the label. Yeah, this vineyard is right next to Jeff and Judy's property in Cotati. And he got a double gold on this. You want to explain that? What is that really?
Well, it's interesting because any competition might have 12 judges or 14 judges that show up and say, okay, I'll help judge this. I'm a professional. But if anybody's having a bad day, they might say, you know what, I'm not going to give you golds today. I might give a silver instead. But for a small producer like James, to have a double gold means every judge said gold, 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 all the way down the line. So that's pretty tough mathematically alone. Somebody's having a bad day, they won't do that.
No, and
So they had 100% gold
and
blind tasting.
and the other thing, is, that's in that upper tier. I mean, there's only two other brackets that are above that, or maybe two, and that would be best of class. I would think would be another level, and then I know in Sonoma County they do the sweepstakes.
Sweepstakes, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the best white, best red.
Right.
That's
Yep.
coming up too, isn't it,
In a few weeks, right?
Karina?
You know. Wow.
The first weekend in October is the Harvest Fair. Okay, maybe I'll go this year. I didn't go last year.
You should.
Well, they used to, after the Harvest Fair, they would have a hospitality where you could go in and taste the gold and.
What
and
about
best of
what about
class.
this? We arrange you to be one of the judges across the blind tasting.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Maybe do that.
I've done that a couple of times. Not that big of a competition,
Yeah, maybe.
but
we
I
should
have
set
done
up.
that. It is difficult, I have to say. It,
Well,
doing
you're
a
tasting
blind.
like 40 wines in like 3 hours, 2
Yeah.
hours. So it's like judging starts in a couple of days. We just heard.
Probably too late for me.
So next time around, we're going to set something up where we.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah,
It'd be really
I-
cool then to shoot a video of the process.
yeah, because it's quite a
It is a process.
It
Yeah.
is quite a process. I did a smaller version a couple of times. We were doing this Sonoma versus Napa thing, and I want to say there were 4 or 5 of us that were designated judges. And part of that judging was they wanted you to determine whether it had oak or not
Mhm.
in the wine, and you needed to pick the appellation.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. I got super lucky on. We were doing a Pinot, and it was San Giacomo Vineyard. I picked it out because it was San Giacomo, and that's pretty distinct.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I just totally guessed and got
Which,
that.
for people listening, is a family vineyard that has 3+ generations of just farming, not getting into winemaking whatsoever.
No.
So the nuances, they know their nuances in the vineyard, and those people who make the wine take away the grapes, make the wine, and you pick that out. That's very cool.
It was cool. I just got lucky because it was the right timing. Yeah. So, all right. So two very, very different styles, and again, I equate these to food. Depending on the meal is really going to depend on which you might go after.
I get it. Yep.
I had a couple in today, and they're relatively new to the wine world, and I was explaining to them they were having a hard time bridging over into the red wines, and I explained that if you really put your meal plan together, it'll allow you to gravitate to these other wines, and so that's super important.
Right.
To really do that, so you don't discount a wine and say, oh, I don't like Zinfandel, but then if you had it with some spicy ribs, all of a sudden that wine makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. So
True. Very true.
yeah. So don't give up on a wine just because you haven't tasting it right out of the bottle. Maybe you're not liking it, but try to put some food next to it. It'll make a big difference.
And there really is a reason they have 2 different styles of Chardonnay. I like this Chardonnay. I like the Chardonnay. I buy nothing else but that Chardonnay. Well, maybe you want to widen your interest, have some other styles, because you never know what the occasion will be, who your guests will be, what they like, or what the food pairings would be.
Yeah.
So an opportunity to pick between a couple of different styles like we are today makes a lot of sense.
Or if you go to a dinner party and you get trapped, you know how you go to a dinner party and the host is pouring, the host is just pours you a wine, and it's not your favorite wine. Now start to look on their table for something that'll pair up
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
So then you'll get an opportunity to enjoy that wine and not be trapped, because sometimes you get trapped.
Totally.
Most of my
With one
friends
choice.
know I'm in the wine industry, so they never trap me, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, you surely don't want to be trapped with a wine. I don't want this wine. Yeah.
Yeah. Now what do? I don't have wine now.
Well, yeah, you gotta remember to pair it up with something like this is going to be more lighter. White cheeses are going to go very well with this. Um, some spicy foods. This is going to be creamier. This is going to be richer foods. Lobster, you know, scallops. Go ahead there, sis. You got something to say?
I do. So Dan is joining us online. So
Who's online?
Dan.
Dan?
Dan.
Dan, good to hear from you,
So
Welcome
Dan.
back.
welcome, Dan.
Welcome back to the world.
He would like to know what you're hearing about the 2016 yields.
Oh, yields. Well, Jeff James, a good example of a farmer and a winemaker. The last time he was in, he was a little disappointed in the yield because he normally makes a rosé, and there just flat out isn't enough rosé. Of the Pinot that he has.
Yeah. Overall, so he has to move whatever grapes back into his mains. The rosé exists because you have some extra wine to do something
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
And he sells the bulk of his Pinot to Schramsberg for their champagne program. So as a farmer, he's got to maintain that amount of tonnage
Yep.
because they're buying a contract from him. But yeah, the good news is what we've heard coming in is pretty damn good. It's another like 15. I think it's real similar.
That's what I've heard too, separately from that.
Right.
I've heard that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm
The yield is down, the volume is down, but the quality is right there.
and that lends itself to what I've been talking about for months now, and it's coming true. And you guys that don't listen to me, don't come complaining, because I warned you. You had 12, 13, and 14 fabulous wine, big yields. We are still in a flatline, what I call flatline economy. The wineries have not taken price increases in 7 years for the most part. You've got those 3 price points already locked in. When they put it on the shelf, it's done. They're not going to monkey around with the price. Then comes 15, and they have half the crop. Then comes 16, same idea, maybe half the crop. The price points for most 15s and 16s have not been set yet. But just understand, these guys need to make a move because half of their crop is gone. And so don't be surprised if you see price point jumps in 15 and 16. You have an election year, and as long as it doesn't go, Looney Tunes, to the wrong direction, we'll be fine. I think we'll come flying out of that economy, and I think that's going to let them take some increases. And they've already told me, some of the wineries, that they're looking to do price increases. So here's the game, though. 12, 13, 14, looking real good. It's still available. They're age-worthy. Those are wonderful wines, old price points. You got to steal them now, or they're going to be gone.
Yeah, they're definitely. It's not like imagining what will happen. These are now tasting great.
Yeah, they are. They're just rocking and rolling. I had a 2013 Malbec from La Serena, Heidi Barrett. Oh, damn. That's ridiculous. That wine was ridiculous. That wasn't that good?
Order some more of that, huh?
Oh yeah, we're out already. We're out. I need to order 25 cases. Yeah, you want to put some orders in. That stuff's delicious. But a great example, that price point's already hit. And if she gets half the yield, hell, she only got 78 cases as it was. So if she gets a lower yield on that, you're going to pay more. You just are. It's just the way it is. So remember I told you, because, man, you don't want to miss that.
Tasted it.
Oh, the Malbec's just so good. All right. So crisp, fresh apple, more on the oaky, buttery,
So
creamy.
you got that citrus side, You got the buttery side. Two
Yeah, and
different styles.
and if you're not quite the oaky buttery person, or maybe if it's too oaky buttery, you're not going to like it. You'll like the James because it backed off a little bit on it,
It did.
and it shows, and it gives you the roundness, but you're not scraping wood out of your teeth, right? Yeah. Okay.
No toothpicks there.
So a little shout out to the 49ers won last night, 28-0. The Rams look like crap, though. They look like a high school team. I'm not sure if that was that much of a statement, but anyway, defense looked really, really good. It's nice to see. That's the first game I've actually seen. I didn't see any of the preseason. Not that it matters. So that's exciting.
Very
And I'm going to Foxborough on Thursday. I'm going to watch my nephew play
cool. You
football.
said you were going to be here. I'm going to go there.
Oh, well, all right. Well, no,
What?
we'll have to figure something out.
We'll like flip a coin.
Flip
How's
a
that?
coin? All right, yeah. Double-headed coin. I'll pick heads.
I think he's going to win that one.
Yeah. So Thursday we fly into Boston.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're going to hang out with Ryan and his teammates and all of that.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, it's going to be very cool. And then we're going to go to the game on Sunday and then back on Monday. So a fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that. It's it's kind of cool having a family member that's.
So that's the day after
and-
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Cool.
Tomorrow's my last day of getting stuff done. Oh God, I'm so far behind. It's unbelievable. Oh, I had yesterday. I had 5 trees taken out. In the front of my house, I've got those big,
You
huge.
don't have 5 trees in front of your house.
Yes,
do you?
I do.
Really?
Not anymore.
Wow. Not anymore.
Not anymore. I don't.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man. These guys were like monkeys. It was unbelievable. Those trees were 35 feet tall. These guys were climbing all the way to the very top with a chainsaw and sawing like this and just putting a nick in it and then dropping the saw because it has a rope thing on it, and it's running. It's literally running. It's the craziest thing. And he drops it and grabs the branch that he just nicked and pulls the branch while he's standing on. It was crazy.
I would screw that up. I think the saw that went down there was chop off the tree I'm hanging on to.
That
and-
was
yeah.
that was crazy, man. Nero Cellars. So we got Nero Cellars. This is their Grenache of rosé made from the Livermore Valley, which is a great spot for Grenache. A really pretty salmon color.
Yeah, very nice.
It's still somewhat summer. It's cooling down. I've noticed the evenings.
It feels
Here-
definitely feels like fall on the way to winter.
Yeah, it's going to be a little warmer back there in Boston because of the humidity, but still not super hot. About 80. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then thunderstorm on Sunday, the game day. So I don't know what to think about that. Super clean, just super
Totally,
clean.
totally.
But again, you can go really spicy with this.
So this is Grenache. So Grenache is Southern Rhone kind of style wine with a lot of pepper to it.
Oh man.
So for a rosé, usually you don't expect a rosé to stick out there and make a big statement, but this allows you to go some interesting pairings.
Yeah, you definitely could. Yeah, you could go Thai food with that, sushi, any of those
Oh,
things.
yeah.
I made a salmon last night. This would have been really.
Salmon. This would be great with salmon.
This would have been
Yeah.
really good. I cooked a multi-vegetable dinner last
What
night.
is multi-vegetable like?
Well, vegetables that are cooking at the same time that have variance in how long to cook them.
So like what? Broccoli.
So we had asparagus,
Okay.
corn on the cob, and we had string beans that I cooked some bacon and chopped it up, and then sautéed
I
it.
love bacon as a vegetable.
Yeah, that's a great vegetable, isn't it? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, so you saute that
Okay.
in olive oil and butter and lots of salt and pepper and maybe some garlic. So you you saute that, But you have to remember you had 3 different vegetables going. The corn had to go longer, and so the way that we did it was amazing because when the salmon was done, everything else, all the little timers went off, went ding, and all 3 of them were absolutely perfect. They were like sometimes you cook asparagus, especially you cook it too long and it gets mushy.
Right.
Corn on the cob, it's kind of hard to screw that up. So that's a wild card. That's pretty easy. But all 3 of those came together at the same time. It was unbelievable. And then the with the salmon.
Nice.
I don't.
Very nice.
That doesn't happen very often.
Wrap those up like all together when you do that, or
No, they're cooked separately.
oh, really?
I'm cooking all 3 of those separately.
Oh, okay. I thought you just put them all together.
No.
Oh. All right.
No.
Cool.
And then Janelle, she grabbed some. We had some basil leaves on the counter.
Yeah.
And she chopped them up and she put it in the corn on the cob while it was steaming.
Really?
I thought it was going to be weird, so I was giving her a hard time. I go, this is weird. And then she asked my wife, should I put the basil in there? And she goes, yeah. And then so I got double teamed.
Yeah. So you
But
were
they were
overruled.
right. They were right. It's an okay
Nice.
thing to do.
Nice.
It made it just added a little spice to it. It was interesting. But yeah, all 3. In fact, the asparagus, we ended up cooking it in the same steamer as the corn. But we pulled the corn out, let it rest, and put the asparagus in. It was just a little bit at a time. It was right on the money. Absolutely perfect.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So that doesn't happen all the time. Usually something's burning or something, you miss one, But it was great, yeah, because the salmon was pretty darn good. And I had regular salmon from Safeway, and then I had 1 slice from Whole Foods in their organic department. The organic didn't taste any better at all. Didn't look
What?
any better. No.
That can't be.
Yeah, it's such a bunch of poop. They paid $13
It's
a
all
pound.
about
I
poop.
paid $9.99. So it looked
There you
the
go.
same. Mine was injected with color, though. I don't know what that means. Anyway,
Injected with color?
I don't know.
That's scary.
That's really scary.
Scary.
But it was really delicious.
Nice.
We're lucky to live where we do. We get this great
That's
fish.
true. That's true.
Although I'm going to Boston, I'm going to get me some lobster, man. I'm in lobster.
And Boston
land.
cream pie and no.
Yeah, I guess so. Boston cream pie. Going to Boston.
Maybe, I don't know.
No, lobster. Come on. Aren't you a lobster girl? You're a lobster girl. I've seen you eat lobster. Okay. All right. So, a couple things that we've got coming up. One, we're going to try to do live music on the 24th of this month from 4 to 7 on a Saturday. It's on a Saturday. I've got
Why is
Simply
that?
Lyrical coming
Oh.
in. That's the gal that sings, and she sings like a bird, and he plays piano. The area keeps bugging us about doing live music. I mean,
Okay.
I hear it all the time.
I think it makes sense.
Well, we're going to try it, and if it works, we'll continue doing that and making this a
Like
really
a Saturday
cool.
kind of thing.
Yeah, Saturday. Do it on a Saturday, and then we'll still do the Sunday afternoon. We think that's going to be a go. But yeah, that's that. The neighborhood
cool.
is knocking. They're asking us, and this outdoor patio, this is the place to be. And man, I'll tell you what, in the winter, it'll be chilly out, but we'll put some heaters out here, and I'll tell you what, this will be nice.
So talk to me about the pink umbrella up here.
Well, yeah, you guys see? Can you see this umbrella, Karina? Can you show that umbrella? Bless you. This umbrella was not pink. It may look pink, but it wasn't pink. It was tan.
Tan?
It was real tan. You were here. You saw me unwrap this.
I
thing.
know, but now it's pink.
It's pink, but the tassels.
My theory is somebody.
This stayed tan. This
Okay.
is pink.
I'm
It's
thinking.
pink.
I'm thinking somebody at midnight changed it out or 2 a.m. or
I
something.
thought they stole our umbrella and put one that turned pink. I've never seen anything like it. If anybody can tell me what in the heck happened, I'd love to know.
I would
Uh,
like to hear that. Dan probably knows the answer to that. By the way,
I would like to know the answer. What
Dan's
the heck
pretty
made
smart.
the thing change color? It's only 5 weeks old. Not even 4 weeks, probably 5 weeks old. That's crazy. Anyway, just crazy. All right, the other rosé is Super Sonoma. Knights Valley fruit. So over here, up on the mountain, high elevation where he gets his cab and his Meritage. 2012, so decent year. But here's what he did, and look at the contrast of these two wines. This is remarkable. You drank yours. You were thirsty.
I finished off my previous wine.
I see. Okay. If you look at the two of these side by side, it's not even a fair fight. That's almost crazy. So, number one, it's a darker skinned grape, so naturally we'll get more color.
Sure.
But he aged it 18 months in brand new French oak. What the heck, man? That is
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, and I'm almost thinking that we should raise the price on this. Sorry, guys, I'm just telling you what I know. I mean, this is $20. That's a lot of oak, man, for $20.
Yeah, and that's all new oak.
Yeah, that's not that ugly, gross barrel that you got in the corner that you
Yeah,
used
talking
for
about like
5 years.
$1,000 a barrel or something. on that one.
1,500, man. He's not buying big quantities. There's no way. So this is Cabernet Sauvignon, but this is an example of a rosé that you really want to pair up completely different than this. This is too big even for the salmon. I'm real clear on that. I'm real clear.
Yeah, no, seriously. I've had people in the room asking about this and saying, sure, it's fine. Come on by. Do one of our walk-on by guy. A cameo appearance.
There you go. You're not wanted, are you? Okay.
So you want to stop on by in the tasting room here? Good. I'll come visit you with
Dave's going to come visit you.
you. He's from Sabragia. Yes.
Oh, well, it's even better.
I'll go visit with him.
All right, you
while-
go visit
yeah.
with him while I talk about this. I mean, this is amazing. Yeah, a salmon would not be big enough. You'd have to go big. You'd have to go probably ribeye style because this is way too big of a wine. It is a great wine, isn't it? It's fabulous. It's so good to see you again. You're in my cameo. That's amazing. What? Good to see you, man. How are you? Yeah? Good. We're rocking, man. We're loving it. Great neighborhood. Yeah, we're happy. Oh, we want to do some stuff with those guys. Yeah, yeah. We're going to do a whole thing with them. Yeah, I love that. Okay. All right, man. All right, come see us. So, yeah, I mean, this is above and beyond in the rosé world. I mean, there's no question about it. This is as crazy as you can go, but you could go big. I think you could do a steak with this. Don't you think, Karina? That's a pretty big wine.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw that, I was shocked that it was a rosé, and we've had people in the room come in and say straight up, like, I don't like rosés, I don't like whites, just give me the reds. So I gave them a little splash of this, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll take a bottle of that.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
so unique, so people love it.
Yeah, no, excellent. And retail on that is $20, $17 if you're a Cellar Club member. Yeah, yippee-i-o. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, so but not to discount the Nero. I mean, but the difference here is just remarkable. Here you're going to go a little spicy. So you're going to go into the Thai food. You could do my salmon. That would be fine. still wonderful, even though it's chilling down here in California. But I think both of these it's just a great example of that contrast. I mean, that is, and I've only seen a few out in the marketplace on the cab. I don't see that very often. So, all right,
That's a great price for that bottle of wine. $20 is a
20
steal.
bucks. That's
That's
way
a
too
steal.
cheap. That's way
Yeah.
too cheap.
$20, and then if you're a Cellar Club member, it's $17.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So, my gosh, no, I can't go wrong with that one. Not at all. So, now for my wine club members, the First Sip Club has run. And what does that mean? Well, it means we've run your credit cards, and the wine is here to be picked up in Healdsburg. For my shipping customers, I think your wine club is going out. I think it went out today. So they had all the inventory finally that they needed to get that out to you. Weather is not a concern at this point, but yeah, it's on its way, and you're going to dig these 4 wines. But I got to tell you a couple things. But go ahead, Karina. You got a question?
I do. So Dan has another question,
Okay.
and this time he would like to know, well, he likes to state that rosés tend to be very dry, crisp, and refreshing, which is lovely. And he wants to know if you think that they're becoming more popular.
The rosés becoming more popular? Well, there's no question about it. And you can tell because of the number of wineries that start doing rosé. You know, even Heidi Barrett does a rosé. Did you know that? You didn't know that? Yeah, she does. One of her producers, one of her wineries that she does blending and work for, she does a rosé, and it rocks. It's not 20. It's not $20 though. Now, I think it's like I want to say it's $60, and she sells all of it.
Well, did you hear that funny story? I think this was last year, maybe a couple years ago, but it was either like in the Hamptons or one of those places where really wealthy people tend to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a rosé shortage because that's all they were drinking was just rosé.
Really?
All rosé. They had a rosé shortage. They were having, they were getting very frightened.
Why didn't I know that?
I don't know.
I could have been in front of that easy.
You could have been.
I could find supplies. That would not be a problem. They're out of rosé. I love that. Well, it. I can ship to the Hamptons. Yeah. I didn't know that they had a problem. I would have fixed that. No question about it. So, yeah. Either way, on either one of these are fabulous wines, and a lot of the big red drinkers really love rosés. They've learned to really appreciate, and again, it's fitting in your meal. That's the key. It's fitting in the meal. When you can do that, then you've done the right thing. So, yeah, that's delicious. All right, let me go back to the Super Sonoma. Gosh, the nose on this, it's like, you'd almost want to do this one in a blind tasting. It's pretty hilarious. You'd never pick that out. Well, you couldn't see the juice? Yeah. Well, but it's so dark, you'd almost want to say Pinot, but it's not a Pinot nose at all. Mm. Oh, that's pretty good, man. That is rocking and rolling. I mean,
I enjoy that. I like that. I like both of those rosés actually, and on a nice hot day, which we're probably going to get our Indian summer here soon in October. Well,
I hope
I'll
so.
save it for that.
I want this patio to be rocking, so it's got to be warmer than right now. Yeah, we need some heat. Yeah, so I told you I had the trees in the front of my house cut down. Wait till you drive. You won't even recognize it. It's freaking hilarious.
Really?
Well, you know the big curly willow in the front as you walk out the front door? That
I
big
do.
giant one
Yep.
that puts all the crap in the gutters? Gone. It's this tall.
And why did you get rid of them? Because they were putting crap in your gutters?
Because they were, yeah, and the ones at the street, I came home about a month ago, and I had moved my Miata, and there was a giant branch laying on the
Oh, wow.
exact spot where the convertible top would have been ripped to shreds.
Oh, wow.
And I said, someone's going to get killed, man. They're going to get killed. So,
So
yeah.
it was like a threat to the house or a threat to some, people.
Well,
walking
and that's
by.
not even in a windy day. So you can imagine, you're 1 inch away from a bad storm, and that whole tree will come down. Those trees were 35 feet tall.
Wow.
They were huge, man. They were gigantic. I'd never seen anybody tear trees down like these guys did. It was
Wow.
amazing.
Well, that's their job. They should be good at it.
Yeah, they did really good. I mean, I was amazed. But they were there all day. I knocked, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees out. And the curly willows, those of you that are at home that do landscaping in your yard and all that, let me tell you something about the curly willow. The curly willow that we put in, that was 35 feet tall now, or that used to be. I have a lot of wood, by the way. Holy smokes. That thing was this big around.
Oh, wow.
It was this big around, twig. It was this tall. And in 2 years, it was 15 feet. And after 5 years, it was 25, almost 30 feet.
Really?
It wouldn't, and when you cut it back, it gets bigger. It was a losing proposition. It was. Well, that's my wife's worried about. The stumps are there, So, well, I found out what to do online if you have a stump and you want to kill it, really kill it, because the curly willow start growing again. I'm very clear on that. So what you do is you drill into the outer edge of the stump, and then you paint in some Roundup, and you let it sit there, and it just destroys the root. Yeah, kills it. Like, see you later.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Like a branding.
Yeah, they will they'll brand it and they'll burn it and create like some sort of.
Well, you know what those guys did with their saw? They put a W on the stump, because that's the name of their company, is Western Tree, whatever the hell it is. Isn't that funny? W. They branded it. It was like, wow, that's okay. So it has nothing to do with wine. You need a bottle of wine? What do you need? Oh. He heard me talking about it. That is luscious. I'll tell you what. I'm going to play around with that wine and see how big of a meal I can put against that. I bet you I can do a steak, a big steak, with rosé. Gosh, that's crazy. People will make fun of me. Okay. All right. Next is Deering 2011 Zinfandel. This is all Mayakama mountain fruit. This aged, I want to say it aged 22 months in French oak. About a third of that's new oak. Are you taking that from me? Okay, thank you. Retail on that is $42, $35.70 if you're a club member. A couple things on a little housekeeping for our wine club members. If you're a wine club member with our club, either club, doesn't matter whether it's First Sips or Cellar Club, if you've got more than 2 pickups, 2 shipments to pick up, you got to pick it up in Santa Rosa. We've pulled all that wine, and it's sitting there fermenting. And I'm going to put a timeline on it, and then we're going to drink it, because that's the way it is. I don't care if you paid for it. You just got to get in your car, or just tell me, I'll ship it to you. But, man, don't leave it. I have a half a dozen people that have more than 5 shipments. That's crazy. So you got to pick it up in Santa Rosa. I cannot bring it up here to Healdsburg. It's too many steps. For the rest of you, pick up your regular shipment right here. Oh, the nose on this is wonderful. Did you get some of that? Oh, man. Oh, that is beautiful. That is showing really, really nice. And this is one of those vintage years that you don't listen to the critics because they're wrong. They pooed off the 11. They pooed off the 10, and they liked 9, and they liked 12. But I'm thinking that this is rocking. You need to taste this.
I need to taste rockin' wine now.
You can.
Well, you're welcome to join out here. Come on.
No, come on. Come sit down.
All right, there we
Grab
go.
a mic. Karina, give him a
He's a wine guy.
microphone. You have to eat that mic. Yeah, because it's not the most sensitive thing on the planet.
Yeah, we know him from the tasting room at Sobragia Vineyards, which is way up north, just next to the recreational area and the
with one of the best views on the planet.
absolutely
Right?
amazing.
Sure, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty good, huh?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's speaking. It's just not
So
inside.
so tell us what you do and
I'm one of the lead tasting room employees, and we do tons of everything from cabs to zins, old and ancient vine zins, and a little bit of some great Chardonnays. Yeah,
Great Chardonnays. Great
great
Chardonnays.
Lots
Really
and
great
lots of
Chardonnays.
Chards. Yeah, and some funky other little things, little small projects every once in a while. We've got a new Carignan coming out from Old Vine from over at Zikiki. They're bringing us some great.
oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
great.
like that place, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It
Thank
tastes
you,
right out of
Grant.
the barrel when you go over there.
They do. Really
That's
kinda
pretty
funky
cool.
Stuff. Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Now, are you guys doing other winery production there besides your stuff? You
No,
have a pretty big facility there, isn't it?
It's not as big actually. No, we're only doing our own stuff there. No,
Okay.
nothing else, and it's just all. Oh boy. Yeah, we only do anywhere from 9,000 to 12,000. Closer
Okay.
to 12,000
Oh,
tons.
okay.
Not tons. 12,000
Cases.
cases a year.
Yeah, okay.
Not too much.
That's pretty small in the scheme of Sonoma County.
Yeah, it's a small
Yeah.
winery.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
it's
Let
way
me,
too
let me
big.
grab him some wine that we're talking about right
Yeah,
now, which
yeah,
is
this-
the 2011.
Yeah, this 11 Zin is
Um,
pouring really well.
I'm sure Karina will give me that.
Is that the Deering? Or
This is the Deering,
The
yes.
Deering.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sonoma
That's
Valley
okay, too.
fruit.
That actually, that's
Um,
very okay too. She's doing social media over there. I'm
She's
pouring wine.
I
Oh,
know.
about that.
So, how is Harvest treating you guys? What do you
We're-
know?
We're well in. We've got our Sauv Blanc has been in for a few weeks now, and we're kind of really slow and low, kind of fermenting that. So
Okay.
we're almost done. We're probably down to about 8 to 10 or 12 bricks at this point. So we're really close to being done with the fermentation.
Okay.
It's flying along, and then let's see, yesterday our Petite Syrah came in.
Okay.
Before even our shards or anything else, it was just
What-
ready.
What caused that?
Oh, it's just beautiful. It was just ready. You know, it's just. I mean, we were getting that fruit we were getting from Tildeschi. So that's some
Okay.
really beautiful, and it was tasting gorgeous coming in. It's probably about 27 bricks at this point. Yeah,
Okay.
We came in really fast.
Wow.
Yeah, faster than any of our
That's
other ones. Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah, and then our Italos Vineyard, 84-year-old vines in, just came in.
Oh,
Today.
What's the
nice.
name of the vineyard again?
Italos,
Italos.
Italo apostrophe.
Nice.
S.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, Italos. It's great. It's actually my favorite of ours. We make 3 single vineyards in. The La Promesa is our youngest, 17, and our Nono's Reserve is 59-year-old, and then the Italos, which is planted by Ed Sobraja, is our head winemaker and founder.
Mhm.
His uncle planted that in 1932.
Wow.
1932.
Yeah, it's a field blend of.
Was that legal? Oh, actually
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was
Kind,
just
well,
barely.
almost legal.
Well, nothing's
Not-
legal now anyway. We're still in the prohibition, so we're still
Yeah,
we're
no
still
kidding.
suffering from that. But yeah, he was. It's really beautiful fruit because it's
And you
about,
said you were saying it was field
it's a
blend.
field blend. So basically, it's the the field, the acreage is all planted to about 85% uh, Zinfandel,
Mm-hmm.
10% Carignan, and 5% Petit Syrah.
Nice.
So there's two places that source from there. We source from there, and Armida sources from there. So it's kind of funny to see. We did a side by side this past winter just to kind of see our Itelos versus the Armida Itelos. It's fascinating to see the complete differences, even though they're the same vintage, same grapes. They use a lot more new American oak, whereas we use a lot more new French oak. Everything we use.
Oh,
is
and that
French
can be
oak.
very different.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to see how the Zin takes to either one of those barrel styles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell you which one I preferred.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're both wonderful.
Oh, they were both wonderful. Yes, yes. I'll be politically
But
correct.
but now going back to the field blend, was that planted on purpose like that, or what? Because some of the ones over here in Alexander Valley, where they've got rows of Zinfandel, and all of a sudden you got a white grape in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then this crazy, mixture because back in the some of those were done in the late 1800s. Suitcase wine. They thought it was Zin.
Yeah.
They didn't realize it was Chardonnay.
What?
But it is, yeah. You go in the vineyard, it's really weird. You go, all of a sudden you go, red, white.
Yeah.
How did the heck did that?
No, this was planned that way. You notice that this vineyard's planted in the same way Ed's father planted his vineyard, which we call the Geno's Estate, which is on Kinley, really close to here. And those are 59-year-old vines.
Okay.
That's planted in 57, and that's planted 85, 10, and 5 as well.
Wow.
Planted exactly the same way. It's planted with the understanding that you're building acid and boldness and tannins from those other two grape varietals, which Zinfandel lacks. That's one of the sad things about Zinfandel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a field blend, so the folks that are watching from home, basically you're picking all that at the same time, and
Yeah.
so however it blends, that's what it is.
Yes.
Versus the reverse where you pick them separate and then blend them later. This is too late, Charlie. It's the way it is.
Yeah, everything comes in the same. Everything's crushed and destemmed the same way, and all is fermented at the same time. Yeah, it's just almost kind of like it's just like you're going to the store and just pulling everything into your basket from wherever you get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Ramazzotti, he does a field blend. That was really good too. I like that. It's like you're going to get what you got. And that's
Well, yeah,
what
it's,
you're gonna
it's
get.
what nature gave you.
Yeah,
It's like
there's
that's
no-
what,
there's
what
no-
it is.
Yeah, there's no
You're not
jumping.
messing with it.
You can't manipulate that.
Yeah. How much new oak is in the Deering?
That one is a third new.
Only a third new.
I think that's a third new.
A lot of that smokiness.
It's definitely got some smoky stuff. Yeah. Now let's compare that to Bonneau Wines. This is their 2012 Dry Creek Valley, so a little smokier, more of a pepper. Is what you should notice. Is that where you are there?
Yep.
Okay.
There.
What's the age difference on these vines between do we know? Are
I
they still-
don't know that specific.
Get wine weenie on you.
No, that's okay. I can make something up. Nobody
Yeah.
would know.
18 of something
your-
and 24 of the other.
Okay. Sure.
I made that
Well,
up.
well, this is
Last
that
I
mountain
do, yeah.
fruit over here, right? It's right
Yeah.
over here. These aren't all. I don't think they're that old. That old. Maybe they're 25 years old. But
Which in this
If
region
that,
is like
if that, yeah.
prenatal.
yeah,
yeah.
I think the Deering is older, but not that not that 50-year-old stuff or 60 or something like that.
Yeah. Or some of those null 140-year-old vines.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you know which
head
one
trained stuff.
that I used to I've been to a couple times in their vineyard is Bradford Mountain up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got some ancient stuff in there. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Some of that's pretty old.
Yeah, I was working the Howell Mountain tasting almost 6 months ago, and there was somebody from, I'm forgetting the name, but there's somebody from Howell Mountain way up high at about 2,400 foot elevation, planting had old vines in, and their zin was knock your socks off, kind of unexpected from Howell Mountain, Napa Valley at 2,400 foot elevation, which is
Well, you picked one of my all-time favorite
Mhm.
appellations. I
Oh.
love Howell Mountain. I mean,
Oh.
you can get me on the hook.
I'm all over that
When it
too.
says Howell Mountain,
We haven't talked
I'm
about
pulling
that, but
my
I'm
money
all
out.
over that too. I'm all over
You
that
pull my
too.
money out on Howell Mountain. There's only a few that I'll really dive into.
Yep.
I'll dive into Howell Mountain. I love rock pile.
Mhm.
I don't care. It's hard to find a bad rock pile.
That's true.
And then Rutherford in Napa.
Okay.
I'm pretty solid about that too.
Well, you should head on up to our place because if you like Howell Mountain, we've got Howell Mountain cabs galore. We do.
Really?
Oh, we've since our very first vintage in 2001. Ed sourced from the Rancho del Oso up on Howell Mountain. It's
Wow.
almost around 1,800 foot elevation, give or
Wow.
take.
That's pretty high up.
It's
Because
beautiful.
Deering is at 1,400, so we're talking about a little higher than that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I even one of my programs at our winery once a month I pull out a library wine because we have library wines that go all the way back, and it's great because Ed's cabs are meant to be aged for at least 15 years. And so when we can go back and revisit one of these, like I have right now our 2004 Rancho del Oso, and it's drinking like a dream and still
Wow.
can go another 10 years. It's bright, there's beautiful tart cherries, wonderful structure, there's anise kind of qualities, and almost this integrated tannin structure that's just absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we'll have to invite you to come back and bring one of those killer wines,
yeah.
and we'll taste it here on the show. And
Yeah, I can bring a few of them if we want to do.
Yeah.
We're going to
we can
begin to do that. We're going
Yeah.
folks don't know here, but we've talked about it. We're going to begin to introduce folks to some other Sonoma County expressions. So it helps set apart what we do as well, and helps our fellow neighbors.
yeah, yeah.
I'd love to come back.
Oh,
Where-
for people
where
who
is it?
don't know, well, if you went east of here and then a little bit south, you'd probably be pretty close. It's about halfway down the valley, I would think. Huh? It's a Napa side. You got to go on the other side of the mountain. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
And the east side
You
of
know-
Napa, up in the Vaca Mountains, as
Yeah.
opposed to the Mayacamas, which is
Right.
what normally separates.
So if you, no. So you go across the little bridge on the way from Highway 29 to Silverado Trail. You work your way up into the mountains.
Yeah, the town
Yes.
of Angwin is up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
Angwin.
Yeah, kind of more that direction.
Yeah.
Where Cade is.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, there's a lot of great wineries up there.
there are.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah, they're
W.H.
all good.
W.H. Smith
Thanks
is up
for
there.
asking that, though, because
Shaughnessy,
you're right.
Yeah,
Mimosa,
there-
things
There's
like
some
that,
there's
yeah.
some winners. It's all about the location. But I love the wines. See, I started my career at Pine Ridge,
Ah, okay.
and they make a great Howell Mountain. I mean, my God, it's just ridiculous.
I still can taste to this day this. I had it was about 13 years old or 14-year-old, the 94 Andrus Reserve, which was
Yes.
I love
Abs-
Andrus Reserve.
Andrus is just soft and elegant
Yeah.
and effeminate and beautiful. I can still taste it to this day, and that was
Yeah.
10 to 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
The
yeah.
good stuff. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It was a nice start to my career, I have to say. We had some damn nice wines over there.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was stepping into. I had no idea.
So do you have any
Didn't know-
Andrus Reserve in your cellar right now, or not really?
No,
wanna bring out.
when we opened the tasting room in Santa Rosa, I had my last Magnum of that, and that's what we opened when we opened the room and we drank it.
You drank it all.
I drank all of it. It was really good too.
You personally?
It was
2
a
straws?
what
Watch.
year was that? It was a 1999 or 98. I think it was a 98.
Hey, it
Andrus.
was good.
Okay. Wow.
Well, it was good when you knew what you were doing in the vineyard. Yeah, hell yeah. They
This-
pooed that one off too. They got that wrong. All the critics got that one wrong.
Well, I love that. Like with that wine, similar to a handful of others, like that 94. It was just so not like all these other California Napa style cabs.
Yeah.
They didn't change their style. They kept that softer, elegant style without going to the big, huge knock you off your feet and change your style.
Right.
I mean, I don't fault anybody that has bigger style, because if that's your style, that's your style. But I've seen people evolve and change their style because that was in vogue, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, they and they eventually they changed that whole program, and it isn't being produced anymore.
It isn't. I haven't,
no,
I haven't been
it
over
ha-
there in a long time.
Yeah, it isn't. But that's what happens. Corporate get in there and they
Yeah.
screw it all up. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. No, because they own some really cool properties and they dumped a bunch of those. Anyway, that's. Well, thank you for sitting in and
Thank you for
coming to
having me.
visit us.
What's your name again?
My name's Andrew.
Andrew?
Andrew, my
Yeah.
son's
Andrew,
name.
who-
I
So
approve of
Andrew
the name.
manages the, as far as I know,
I'm
manages
just the lead hospitality. So
lead
I
hospitality.
on occasions I manage, but yeah,
They make him
Alright.
do
barely
stuff.
manage.
Yeah,
All right.
he has to do
but
extra
but
stuff.
representing Sobragia Vineyards, which is when you go north of here until you arrive at the recreational area of the dam, you back up like a little bit.
Yeah.
That's your driveway.
Yeah, it's the
Right
last
there.
winery before the Lake Sonoma.
Excellent.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll connect and have you back.
Oh, definitely.
Come back in and bring some of that Howell Mountain. You're welcome anytime we
Yeah,
walk
I've
in the door with that.
We've gotten 4 vineyards from up in there. So
Sweet.
So, yeah,
I
we
can
got
I
plenty
can
of different
we'll,
types, yeah.
we'll do a little segment on our show to
Nice.
That'd
to
be fun.
promote that.
Just
okay.
let me know. That'd be
We
great.
can do that. So I want to thank Karina for being here and doing our social media and everything that's really good in life related to that you can hear us. We did this show last week and it had no sound, so
I can do sign language, but that doesn't work either.
no. We had a nice intro and a nice exit, but it didn't nothing in between.
Yes. Yes.
So Dave Batt, thank you very much for keeping us into the geek world
The
and
geek world.
and all of that. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And this is where you discover wine one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Healdsburg. We will see you next week. Bye for now.
See ya.
It's a beautiful morning.